Let me guess, you've done this before. It's Sunday night, you're scrolling on your phone or staring at your bank app, and you tell yourself, okay, next month I'm locking in. You open a note titled Financial Reset. You promise to save more, spend less, finally start investing, maybe even build that side income. And for about 2 weeks, you're unstoppable. You skip the random Amazon buys, you cook at home, you're watching finance videos at 1.25 speed like you're training for the Olympics. Then life happens. A birthday, a bad day at work, one "I deserve this" purchase. And suddenly, the motivation is gone. You're right back where you started, except now you feel worse because you know what to do. If that sounds uncomfortably familiar, you're not broken. Your strategy is. My name's Elijah, and I spend way too much time thinking about mindset and habits. If you're someone who keeps getting bursts of motivation but struggles to stay consistent, especially with money, discipline, or long-term goals, make sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up if this resonates, because today we're talking about something nobody really wants to admit. Motivation is one of the weakest tools you can rely on for long-term success. And I know that sounds wild. Motivation feels powerful. It feels necessary. It feels like a spark. But a spark isn't what keeps the lights on. We live in a culture that worships motivation. Everywhere you turn, it's grind harder, stay hungry. If you really wanted it, you'd do it. We're taught that if we're inconsistent, it's because we're lazy, unfocused, or not motivated enough. But that idea completely ignores how human psychology actually works. Because motivation doesn't fail randomly, it fails predictably. First, motivation is emotion-based, and emotions are unreliable. Motivation isn't a system or a skill, it's an emotion, and emotions are tied to how well you slept, your stress levels, your environment, your bank balance, even your blood sugar. Research published in Nature Neuroscience shows that decision-making ability drops significantly under emotional stress, even when people know the right choice. In plain terms, when you're tired or overwhelmed, your brain becomes worse at long-term thinking. You might feel motivated to save when your paycheck hits or after watching a finance video, but fast forward a few weeks, bills are due, work is annoying, something unexpected pops up, and now your brain just wants relief. That's not a character flaw, that's biology. Relying on motivation is like using caffeine as your long-term sleep strategy. It works for a bit, and then your system crashes. Second, motivation rewards intensity, not consistency. Motivation makes you overestimate what you can sustain. When you're motivated, you don't plan for real life. You plan for the best version of yourself. You say things like, "I'll save 40% of my income," or "I'll cut out all unnecessary spending," or "I'll work on my side hustle every night." Ambition isn't the problem. The problem is fantasy planning. Behavioral research from the American Psychological Association shows that people consistently overestimate future self-control while underestimating future obstacles. High motivation actually increases burnout because it pushes all or nothing behavior. You're either fully locked in or completely off track with no middle ground, and long-term success lives in the middle. Third, and this is the most important, motivation ignores identity, and identity drives behavior. You don't act based on motivation, you act based on who you believe you are. Research published in Psychological Review shows that behavior change sticks when it aligns with self-concept, not temporary emotion. If you don't see yourself as someone who manages money well, thinks long-term, or delays gratification, no amount of motivation will override that identity forever. Two people can earn the same income. One says, "I'm just bad with money." The other says, "I'm learning how to manage money." Same motivation, completely different outcomes. One relapse feels like proof they're hopeless. The other sees it as part of the process. Motivation doesn't change that story. Identity does. So if motivation is unreliable, emotional, and short-lived, what actually works instead? 3 things, and none of them are sexy, but they work. Systems beat
willpower every time. Systems run even when you don't feel like it. Automatic savings transfers, bills paid immediately after income hits, removing friction for good habits, and adding friction to bad ones. Research from the National Bureau of Economic Research shows automatic enrollment dramatically increases savings rates without relying on motivation at all. Systems don't care how you feel, they just run. Next, design your environment, not your personality. Instead of trying to be more disciplined, ask what environment makes the right choice easier. Separate accounts, no saved cards, fewer daily financial decisions. Your brain loves defaults. Use that. Finally, shift from outcome goals to identity habits. Instead of, I want to save $10,000, say, I'm the type of person who checks my finances weekly. Instead of, I want to stop impulse spending, say, I pause for 24 hours before purchases. Small, identity-consistent actions beat big emotional promises every time. Now, you might be thinking, so should I stop trying to feel motivated? No. Motivation is great for starting. It's terrible for sustaining. Use motivation to build systems, set defaults, and design your environment. Then let it go. Because the goal isn't to feel inspired forever. The goal is to build a life that works even on your worst days. And this is the part that frustrates me. People blame themselves for a problem that was never theirs. You weren't inconsistent because you lacked discipline. You were inconsistent because you relied on motivation to do a system's job. And once you see that, everything changes. If this video shifted how you think about motivation, hit the thumbs up so more people see it. Subscribe for more mindset and habit breakdowns, and comment below, what system are you going to build instead of relying on motivation? Because long-term success isn't about how fired up you feel today. It's about what still works when the excitement wears off. That's where real progress lives.